Now, final score with Troy Lynch on Fox 16.
You know, Texas isn't back, but I'm telling you right now that Arkansas is. Welcome back to the final score, everybody. I'm Troy Lynch. Thanks so much for tuning in. And guess what we're starting with a show with? Blowouts. Razorback Nation woke up from a dream situation. Number 15 Texas came to Fayetteville for the first time since 2004 last night and got a Hog beatdown. Kind of like the Texas Bowl in 2014 where the Hogs won 31-7. Some could argue that this game was an even better win. Over 74,000 fans packed Razorback Stadium, sold out. That's what the 9th largest crowd at Razorback history looks like. And they were all pleased. Hogs up 3-0 going into the second quarter. Sam Pittman leading the charge. And the running game was unstoppable tonight. How about sophomore running back this one earning a touchdown? His first one as a Hog. Dominique Johnson gets the gritty run up the middle. Arkansas goes up 10-0. Defense pitched a shutout in the first half, so it's 16-0. Going into the third quarter, Texas had great field position after picking off KJ Jefferson, so they score a 1-yard touchdown at 16-7. But now it's the same situation for Arkansas. Give it to Super Smith. Traylon Smith takes Arkansas Airlines to the end zone. He led the team with 75 yards on 12 carries. It's 23-7 Arkansas. Two different running backs scored for the Hogs. How about three? The freshman from Florida, Raheem Sanders, bullies his way for a 26-yard touchdown. First one of his career. He had 50 yards on 8 carries, and the freshie giving Arkansas a 23-point lead. Hey, it's garbage time now for Texas. They switched QBs from freshman Hudson Card to Casey Thompson. He scores from 5 yards out. 30-14 Arkansas with 13.5 minutes left in the game. Pittman says, fine, keep running it down the throats with another freshman. Look how fast A.J. Green is. 30 yards untouched. He's a freshman too. Green's first career touchdown. 4 different Hog running backs scored Saturday night, totaling over 300 yards on the ground. Arkansas upsets number 15 Texas 40-21, making it the biggest win in the Sam Pittman era and causing the Razorback fans to flood the field and go hog wild. Welcome to the SEC, Texas.
I hope it was a big one for us. I hope the state wants to come see the Hogs play. I think they proved that they want to, because I think we had over 60,000 the first game for Rice. When you go see entertainment, whether it be a movie or whatever, you want you want something to inspire you, and hopefully we did, and hopefully they'll come back. I expect them to.
Before the game, we knew we were going to beat Texas. The minute we stepped on the field, we knew we were going to beat Texas.
If you want to enter this conference, you're going to get a little taste of it tonight. We're not the biggest, baddest team in the SEC physically, but we play really hard. We play really tough. We don't back down from anybody. We like competition. We like playing. Yeah, I guess welcome to the SEC.
It was a surreal moment. We were just talking about that outside the media. It kind of felt like a dream. Like it was like, you know what I'm saying, that was the moment that you live for, knowing that, you know what I'm saying, you beat a big rivalry team like Texas and the fans rush the field and stuff like that. Like you want to see that on TV. So being able to live in that moment and embrace that moment was a really big deal.
Well, guess what? The dream continues because we bring in the dream himself. Former Razorback, Arkansas Sports Hall of Famer and head coach of Pulaski Academy, Anthony Lucas. Thanks again for coming in.
Thanks for having me always. I'm so glad to be here.
I know you're at the game last night. Does seeing all those fans flood the field, does that bring back any memories to you?
No doubt, man. Back in 1999, Tennessee, the revenge game. And I tell you, the only thing different about that, they lowered the goalposts at that game. The game we played back in 99, the fans brought down the goalposts. But, man, what a great feeling, a great view. I mean, I was there, and you sit there watching all those people just jump over the bleachers and storm the field. It's truly amazing. And I heard that Coach Pittman wanted everybody to do that. So it was a shocker to me, but was so great for Arkansas Razorback fans, though. Is
it okay to officially say that Arkansas football is back now? They're now ranked 20th in the country, first time they've been ranked since 2016, with a pretty big blowout win over a ranked team.
Yes.
Is Arkansas back?
Arkansas is making that comeback. I won't say we're back yet, right, but we're close. We're close, but defensively, I was so proud of the way our guys played defensively. I was proud of the way we played offensively as a unit. So much passion, so much emotion. And that guy that just got through talking from Pulaski Academy, Hayden Henry,
yeah,
he was all over the field. There were times when he hit people. I thought he was doing a little bit too much. But that was just Hayden being Hayden, and boy, our defense was very stingy.
Hayden Henry, also the winner of the Walter Camp Award this week, too. One of the best defenders in the country. He was fantastic, but we talk about the defense a little bit more. They held Texas to 118 passing yards, 138 rushing yards, totaling a little under or a little over 250. It was a shutout at halftime.
Yes.
What were they doing so well?
Well, I was a little worried early on because they were only bringing 3.
Yeah.
We were blitzing 3 and dropping 8 guys, dropping 8 guys. I'm like, why is this quarterback having so much time to throw the football? But me, you get to watch and you say, okay, so they're only bringing 3 and they're dropping 8. They did that often, and then they blitzed at times when they needed to, which helped us too to kind of mix it up. I would like to see a little bit more pressure brought on, and I guess that's what the coach's scheme and game plans early on. They saw something early on, and it worked, but I did get a little frustrated though. I was like, he can call home, he can do whatever he want to do, but it paid off. I got secondary linebackers. Everybody we dropped, they did their job.
Everybody on defense seemed to have a good game, and the players also agree. This is what they had to say about the defense, keeping them in the game the whole time versus Texas.
I didn't think they could block Grant or Bumper or me tonight, and we were making a lot of plays. We were in the backfield like crazy. And, when you can't run the ball, it just kind of takes the wind out of your sails as an offense.
The main thing was we knew that defense was going to play lights out. We knew they was going to play that hard out, and we just had to follow behind them mainly. I was telling Grant while we was on the sideline that, hey, we got y'all back. You stop them right here, we're going to go down and score and put points on the board. Try to keep it, keep it going our way, basically. Not trying to let them get no momentum and keeping the momentum on our side.
So the defense balled out, but so did the running backs. When you take a look at these stats, it was absolutely phenomenal. 333 total rushing yards. Whenever you run for over 300, that's a pretty good game. But not only that, they had 4 different running backs who scored a touchdown. Why were they so effective?
Well, I just thought that they offensive line did a tremendous job of opening up holes for these guys. And them guys are talented. Traylon Smith. I saw him early on. I noticed him limping after maybe 3 or 4 plays. But then he comes back and he's still running the same. But he goes back on the side. I'm like, got it. And then Raheem Sanders, he comes in the game. And then the freshman
Dominic Johnson.
Dominic Johnson, and he's a sophomore.
Dominic,
but then the other freshman, AJ Green. Is he related to the AJ Green from Georgia?
He must be. He's super talented.
That kid is so fast. He hit the corner. And I was like, that kid's going to score.
Apparently AJ Green, when he was in high school, ran a 10.3 100-yard dash.
You could tell.
Or 100-meter.
See, I hadn't researched those guys a whole lot, but boy, I tell you, I knew that he was a track guy when he hit the way he hit the corner, the way he ran. But those guys came in and played it. The one thing I love, and Hayden mentioned this earlier, they play hard. They play with a lot of emotion. And of course, you play in Texas. Of course, you're in the state of Arkansas. You know the rivalry and how big it is. But they play with so many emotions, and everybody did their job. And just what a great win for our program. And sitting 2-0 now. It is what it is. People can say what they want to say about the Hawks. We're 2-0.
Yeah. So. Well, now we got to hear what the players had to say about the running game after Texas.
All the running backs, their skill set is complete. All of them can catch out the back, coming out the backfield. They run hard, break tackles, get those dirty yards. Them 3rd and 2, we need a first down. They're going to rely on the big boys up front, push and get the first down. So their whole running back room they just did an awesome job tonight. Proud of them.
I was just looking up the whole second half, and our offensive line was just mauling. They were just mauling them. Ricky Stromberg was blocking people like 20 yards down the field. It was just unbelievable. And so our tempo probably just wore them out a little bit, and our offensive line was just wearing them out. And so our backs played amazing.
I think it's a testimony to our hard work. We've been working this year on just pounding the rock, just getting better at blocking. And I'm so proud of our guys and our coaches and how the way we handled running the ball. I'm just so happy for our team.
So when you have your running backs running all over the field, going for over 300 yards, obviously your quarterback doesn't have to do as much, still the facilitator. But how would you rate KJ Jefferson's performance? Because he really didn't have to do much for them to have success.
Well, he got better. He was great at the things that he needed to be great at last night, and it showed. But when when you bring in those freshmen, but you got Dominique and you got Traylon Smith, Super Smith back there. Running. One thing I noticed about our running backs too, they have great vision. Their vision is phenomenal, and that's what impressed me about those kids. And the offensive line, like they said, boy, they were more. Just the emotions, man, and the atmosphere in that place. I mean, it was like the 12th man. You know, they played a big role in the way our kids played, and they were focused, and the coaches had the guys ready to play.
Now, you can agree or disagree with me on this if you want. Has the Arkansas offense reached its full potential yet?
No way, no way, because of course I'm sitting there like, we need to get the ball to 16.
Right.
You know, we need, you know,
we haven't unleashed Burks yet.
No, we hadn't unleashed a lot of those guys. I mean, Warren still needs to come on. I hadn't gave up on Devion, but you know, he needs to come on. We got Morris, I think he made a big catch. So we got guys still are coming, but I want to see them, you know, have a 300-yard game running as well as passing. That would be really impressive. And I know we got Georgia Southern, I think, is this weekend, so coming up. So we'll see, but I would like for them to mix it up a little bit more.
All right. Well, Hogs can still improve. They're number 20 in the country right now. It's going to be fun to watch them in the rest of the season. And don't forget to watch Anthony Lucas and the Pulaski Academy Bruins the rest of their season. Super talented, one of the best in the state, just like always. But, hey, Anthony, thanks again for coming back.
Troy, as always, thank you for having me. Go Bruins and go Hogs.
That's right. All right. Hey, we're not done talking about Razorback football either. When the final score returns, we have to discuss what's happening with the other college teams around the state.
You're watching Final Score on Fox 16. You're watching Final Score on Fox 16.
Believe it or not, the Razorbacks were the only Division I college football team in Arkansas to come away with the win on Saturday. Yeah, the other college football teams in Arkansas did not have as good of luck, but we got to discuss why they lost. First one is Arkansas State. A week after beating in-state rival UCA, they had to play cross-state rival Memphis. It was the 60th meeting in the rivalry. Nearly had that many points in the first half, less than 2 minutes in. Seth Hannigan dumps it off to Calvin Austin III, and he's going to take it all the way 55 yards. To whose house? I don't know, but it's theirs now. Tigers up 7-0. Memphis goes RPO for a TD later. That's run pass option. The option with Hennigan to Sean Dykes. Yeah, it's a good one. 17 yards for the score. They missed the PAT. It's 13-0. Lane Hatcher starting at quarterback for Arkansas State, and Trevalence Hunt wins the tip drill. He goes tight-roping all the way in for 6. Red Wolves on the board finally. It's 13-7. Less than 30 seconds later, North Little Rock native Brandon Thomas, he finds a way out. And he go. 70-yard touchdown. Memphis back up by 2 scores. It's 20-7. Now it's 20-13 in the second quarter. Tigers would respond. Hennigan fires to Dykes. Sean with the stiff arm and scoop for 6. 40-yard score. They keep doing this. Memphis up 27-13. Later on in the drive, no one is open, so Hatcher just doing things himself, using the legs. He'll take it 12 yards for the score. Red Wolves cut the deficit 27-20. But 10 seconds later, Thomas with another big run for Memphis. It keeps happening. Somebody stop him. 75 yards. Tigers extend the lead to 34-20. Arkansas State trailed 34-23 at the half. They made it a close game in the second, but come up just short, falling to their not-so-friendly neighbor Memphis, 55-50 at home. That's a lot of offense, and Arkansas State now 1-1 on the season, still figuring out their quarterback situation. They've been going back and forth. They're going to have to work out the kinks quickly because they go on the road, and it does not get any easier because they have to go to Spokane, Washington for a Pac-12 matchup against the Huskies, and they're not fun to play against. You know, UCA hit the road after a season-opening loss to the Red Wolves to play fellow-ranked FCS opponent Missouri State. The score was not kind to them in week 2 either. They fall to Missouri State 43-34. There were 4 lead changes in the last 3 minutes and 17 seconds of this contest. MSU scored with 29 seconds left to take away UCA's lead. Then one of Braylon Smith's 2 interceptions was returned for a score on the final play of the game, making the score what it is. Tough loss for the Bears, but head coach Nathan Brown, he's going to make sure his Bears are ready for next week.
Yeah, we have a chance, man. Look, we played 2 pretty good teams, and I like the makeup of our team. Again, you know, nobody wants to be 0-2. That's the tough part. I just didn't have us ready to go in the first 2 weeks, and it's my job to get us ready week 3. And I'm looking forward to getting back to work, and I think our guys will respond. I hope they will. We got an older group, you know, so we'll come to work tomorrow and get better, and that's all we can do because we got a good UAPB team coming to Conway next week.
Yeah, the Golden Lions coming up to Conway. That's going to be a fun game next Saturday. Hey, when we come back, we're going to give you all of the high school football you need. We're going to recap Week 3 of the Fearless Friday season. That's the final score.
You're watching Final Score on Fox 16. You're watching Final Score on Fox 16.
All right. We've had some fun talking some college football. Now it's time to lower the gear and get busy with some high school football. Week 2 has come and gone, so we're going to talk about some of the biggest games that we saw this past Friday night. First one is North Little Rock traveling up to Fayetteville. Apparently, in this dog versus cat battle, cats were better. Not by a lot, but hey, they settled the debate. North Little Rock beat Fayetteville 14-7 in the low-scoring affair. North Little Rock defensive back Josh Thrower, he had a 63-yard pick six late in the first quarter, which ended up being the game winner. No team scored in the second half, so the Charging Wildcats improved to 2-0 on the season, while Fayetteville falls to 1-2. It was another exciting episode of the Bowling Bowl. Two brothers, Brad and Bobby, the two head coaches at Parkview and Whitehall. Brad came away with another win this year, and it was a battle. The Parkview Patriots holding on to a 13-10 win. Once again, all the points coming from the first half. So Brad, his bragging rights for yet another year. Parkview's pretty good this year. Okay, I was at this game, and it was crazy. Greenbrier and Arkadelphia for our Fearless Friday game of the week. The Panthers remain undefeated 3-0 with a 55-47 win over the Badgers. However, it did not come without some drama. The Panthers were up by 22 in the second half. However, Arkadelphia rattled off 3 straight touchdowns to make it a 2-point game. Then it was back and forth until Greenbrier came out victorious, and now Randy Tribble's Panthers will head into conference play with an unbeaten record. Arkadelphia, they put up a fight, but they fall to 1-2. Another crazy one almost was a huge upset. El Dorado gave the second-ranked team in the state, Cabot, quite the scare. The score was tied at 35 with a minute left until the Panthers punched in a goal line touchdown, making the final score 41-35. Cabot head coach Scott Reed beat his former team, but it was a much closer game than he probably wanted. And this might be the biggest high school news we have. Pulaski Academy lost by over 30 points. The Bruins went on the road to play the number 2 team in the state of Tennessee, Lipscomb, and they're number 2 for a reason, folks. They thumped PA 64-28. It's the Bruins' first loss since October of 2019 and the first under first-year head coach Anthony Lucas. They wanted a challenge. Boy, they got it. Bruins open up conference play next week against Watson Chapel, and you can bet they're going to be hungry for a win. All right, now we're going to go back to last night in Fayetteville. Come on with me right over here. We're going to be talking about one of the best offensive players in this upset win over Texas, because he actually didn't score any touchdowns, but he sure did kick a lot of field goals. Freshman kicker Cam Little was perfect last night, making all 4 of his field goal attempts. Yes, that helps Arkansas win games, but it also helps another cause. Starting last night, every field goal that Little makes, he's donating $10 to Down Syndrome Connections of Northwest Arkansas. Why? Well, the organization is pretty close to his heart.
My little cousin has Down syndrome back in Oklahoma City. And I've grown up around him, hung out with him since I was 5 or 6. He's 17. We've kind of been the same age. So to give back to an association like that, that's so personal to me, is great. And I hope I can make as many kicks to donate as much money to that association as I can.
A little extra incentive to make those field goals. Little is up to $40 as of last night. Hopefully, many more to come. Hey, we got much more coming up right after this.
Hey, I'm James Jordan, and you're watching The Final Score.
You're watching Final Score on Fox 16.
That's right. Now you're watching the top plays. We head over to Jonesboro for number 5, Arkansas State hosting Memphis. Lane Hatcher going deep and bloop, bloop. That's Valiance Hunt. He says this isn't a tip drill, it's a touchdown. He stays in bounds for the 53-yard score. Wow, the concentration is outstanding. A-State ended up losing this one, though, 55-50. Number 4, to the Bowling Bowl we go. Parkview versus Whitehall. Who can turn a bad play into a good one? Parkview's Jalen White, all right. The Razorback target took a bad snap and is just too athletic to be stopped. And your center gives you lemons, you make 6 points out of it. Parkview went on to win this one, barely by a field goal, 13-10. Hey, let's hit up the top three. Cabot versus El Dorado. This is a great game. Look at Matthew Oldham go horizontal for the ball. That's Oldham with a capital H-A-M. This dude can just straight up ball. Throw it to him every time if he's going to give you that kind of effort. Cabot went on to beat El Dorado 41-35 in a real crazy game. Number 2, Greenbrier versus Arkadelphia. Panther QB Cooper Wilcox. He's going to air it out. It's a little wet, and Thrasher Strack with one of the craziest catches you'll see all year. Over the shoulder. I don't even know how he saw the ball. It wasn't a touchdown, but it definitely set up one on the very next play. What a perfect pass, too. Greenbrier beat the Badgers 55-47. And you know what's coming for number 1? Arkansas playing bully ball against Texas, and they're doing it with a freshman, Raheem the Rocket Sanders, shoving Longhorns in their locker for a 26-yard touchdown. Get off me. That's the first of his career, and it gets the number 1 play on our list. Arkansas thumped Texas 40-21, and now they have Georgia Southern next week at home. I mean, who's excited for some Arkansas football? That's awesome. And we're also really excited about the next season of In Depth with Graham Bensinger. Graham is coming back with his 12th season with his stacked lineup of interviews with Ice Cube, Steve Aoki, NFL Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson, just to name a few. We actually switched roles, and I got to ask Graham some questions to him about his upcoming season.
Ice Cube lived so many different lives in one, from music to acting to now he's created this Big 3 basketball league, and he, had a tough upbringing, talks about almost killing somebody once and how that would have completely derailed, understandably, his life. And then, Sir Richard Branson, who, just went to space. So diverse group of folks. And, it's a lot of fun having the opportunity to talk to folks like that.
A lot of fun to talk to Graham, too. Unfortunately, they're going to be in production for season 12 until mid-March of next year, and I already have my calendar marked, Graham. We're going to watch it. Hey, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on The Final Score. Everybody in production says goodbye. You have a fantastic week. We'll see you next Sunday right here on The Final Score. You better be back.